Hi, everybody. So today I'm taking a look at the new film on Disney Plus, Artemis Fowl. And this film I was actually pretty excited about because I just feel like Disney has had such a rough time when it comes to live action films, whether it's the remakes or their new ventures, like something like Wrinkle in Time was really bad. And so I was hopeful that maybe this might be good. I actually read the book this week, and having read the book, I think I understand why it was very difficult for them to turn into a film, because the book changes narrators, and so sometimes you're following Holly the fairy, and I would say she's actually more the lead character than Artemis Fowl is a lead character. Her motivation, she's the one you're rooting for, she's the one that you're behind. She's the interesting one, in my opinion. And so I think that makes it tough when you have this sort of fractured protagonist, especially in this kind of fantasy film, of translating it over into a feature film. I'm not normally the biggest fan of sci-fi fantasy, but this really just does not work as a piece of sci-fi fantasy. It feels more like a pilot to a television series than a actual movie. The plot just doesn't gel. It doesn't work. It feels really fractured. It feels really like characters are continually just introducing and explaining things, as opposed to any kind of real narrative that in and of itself is compelling. It's characters telling you who this person is. I felt like even the end of the movie was kind of an introduction, and that we weren't getting an actual narrative of any kind of significance. Holly spends most of the time in this cage, and she's in the cage in the book, but she spends way more time like figuring things out and being clever and inventive and leading the people in the book. And I think that anything that's sort of charming and whimsical in the book is either not included or not executed very well. Dame Judi Dench is just bizarre in this as the head of the Leprechauns. Thing just feels like it is fractured. It doesn't feel like it works cohesively as a movie. There's no real story here. There's no real gravitas. There's no moral that you're like trying to kind of fight for. And in the book, it's kind of all about family and greed and the way that we look at different types of people, and it has kind of an X-Men type of a bit of a feel to it in there. And you don't really get any of that here. The closest, I guess, is you have Josh Gad's character, who is large as a dwarf, but he's, again, most of the movie is just explaining things. He's literally the narrator of the movie, and so you're not drawn into him because you're just hearing him explain things. And it's like they say, show don't tell, and that's especially true in any kind of sci-fi fantasy type situation. You don't want to just be told. And so it reminds me of Miss Peregrine's, and at least it's not as long as Miss Peregrine's, which I really disliked both movies. This is just frustrating because I feel like it feels oddly lazy to me, even though there's work that went into it. I mean, it just, the script feels very lazy to me. How could they not have at least some semblance of story of what is kind of happening? It's just people explaining stuff again and again and again, and very frustrating. I don't think kids will like it. I think they will find it to be very mediocre at best. And so there's so much good stuff to watch on Disney Plus. And right now, if you have HBO Max, there's the amazing Looney Tunes cartoons. Those are like, it's night and day. So if you have to go family streaming, definitely watch that. And there's just so much great stuff on the classic. You could watch Pinocchio. You could watch a lot of other great films on Disney Plus that will do so much more for your kids' creativity and inventiveness. And so this is just, it's just a mess. It's not good, and I would give it a 2 out of 10. I give the book probably like a 6 out of 10. So if you're interested in this world, then read the book, because Holly is a really fun character and you get to know her so much better. You hardly get to see her at all, like as far as a real character that's not just having stuff happen to her, but is actually like a protagonist that's leading the story. I think so much better in the book. So that's what I would recommend. It's just read the book, or I would watch something else on Disney Plus and not Artemis Fowl. So sorry, that's my thoughts. Let me know if you get to see it, what you think. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.